So I was watching Sherlock Holmes the other day and I wanted to see how it holds up after a long ass time. And turns out it's quite good. But that got me thinking about the other versions or just similar, super sleuthy movies or TV shows. But this, slim pickings. So I went out and saw a bunch of them and researched enough to come up with a list. So like me, if you've seen Sherlock and if you're a fan of Sherlock Holmes or even super sleuth detective type movies or TV shows, here are some of the best of them that I found. Let's begin. Before we get started though, the parameters that we're choosing for the movies and TV shows are based on the following. The central character needs to be an eccentric sleuth like Sherlock, but not necessarily a private detective. The movie or the show needs to be about solving crimes and not just a crime drama, say something like The Wire or True Detective. So with that in mind, here are the movies and TV shows like Sherlock. I'm sure most of you have already seen or heard of it as it's heavily inspired by the short stories of Arthur Conan Doyle. Gregory House is a narcissistic, cynical doctor who leads the diagnostic medicine team in a hospital. There's even a Watson type called James Wilson, and House takes Vicodin to numb his pain from the quadricep infraction. The show really fleshes out his character and is more original than a carbon copy of Sherlock Holmes. There's 8 seasons with about 24 episodes each that will keep you hooked until the next Sherlock season or the third movie comes out. Robert Downey Jr. plays a petty thief who unwittingly teams up with a detective to learn acting. This is the opposite of him playing the detective. Val Kilmer and Downey have some of the best bromance ever portrayed on screen, almost on par with Watson and Sherlock. They play Gay Perry and Harry, who look like bumbling dimwits at first, but are incredibly competent at their job. It's also an homage to neo-noir flicks, but has a tongue-in-cheek reference and approach to making it feel fresh and unique. He also made a spiritual sequel called The Nice Guys, which also has similar characters played by Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling. Boom. Bonus movie you probably didn't know. Probably one of my favourite ones on the list. I've seen it a ton of times. It's a dark crime thriller with a whodunit at its core. Elizabeth Salander is an antisocial hacker who's the best at her job, and Daniel Craig plays a disgraced journalist who's hired for his keen eye into looking into things. So both of them are forced to team up to solve a long unsolved Swedish family murder, which David Fincher impeccably lights and directs along with Trent Reznor's music that just elevates the movie to a classic. It's magnetic and transfixing to watch both of them deduce and solve a crime with their own little quirks and, form a spunky partnership. Too bad that Fincher couldn't return to make the sequels. So this atypical crime series stars Rami Malek as Elliot Alderson, who's a clinically depressed hacker with social anxiety, but of course he's gifted. Good lord, high IQs come with quite the price. Anyway, he's a cyber vigilante who works for a cybersecurity company but is also in cahoots with a hacktivist group called F Society. Its technical accuracy was lauded by most security firms, and it has a riveting overarching plot from the first season all the way up to the 3rd season. I haven't seen the 4th season, so I can't comment on that. Oh, he also has delusions and is a bit paranoid. So he's miserable but is great at other brainy things, just like Sherlock. The infamous Rian Johnson and who ruined Star Wars. But this is his debut movie, which is actually great. This one is a crime thriller and a murder mystery with a high school setting, which is a bit unusual and is actually great at subverting expectations than just doing it for the genre's sake. JGL or Joseph Gordon-Levitt stars as Brendan, who hears his ex-girlfriend's last dying words, brick, and sets out to investigate her murder. Imagine Sherlock in high school with Irene Adler as his girlfriend. It takes a lot of twists and turns before giving you the aha moment. The movie as a whole feels like a high school Conan Doyle movie, which was my takeaway anyway. You might not feel the same way, but I can confidently say that you'll enjoy it nonetheless. An adaptation of Gillian Flynn's novel, who also developed the show with HBO. Amy Adams stars as Camilla Preacher, who's a crime reporter for a newspaper, but she's got alcoholism and a suicidal past. So she returns back to her hometown to look into a murder of a child. Most of Gillian Flynn's protagonists are atypical and severely damaged, and Camilla is no outsider either. She has all the cynicism and anti-socialism just like Sherlock, but has the heart more than him. It's a mini-series based on the book and only 8 episodes, so you'll probably want more, but no dice. So those were the movies that we felt were kind of like Sherlock Holmes. You know, not to the T, but as good or even better sometimes, depending on your taste. Because you might like the new Sherlock compared to the old ones, but I might like the new not like the new Sherlock compared to the old ones. What? That makes no sense. Anyway, I'm Vamsy from Smart DNS Proxy, and if you're new here, click on that subscribe button and the bell icon to get notified every time we put out a video. And we've made a bunch of movies where, you know, we compare a movie and similar movies, just like this video. So check those out if you're keen on that. See you in the next one.